Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 68 of Mastering Local Marketing. He's Matt Hansen. Hi, Matt.
Hello.
I'm Jed, and of Jed TV Sports Network. We are here on the campus of Purdue Northwest in Hammond, Indiana. And we started something. It's the first time we've ever split the episodes, but this would be the second part of this, partly because it's so important. We're talking about local marketing. What is, if you really had to think of one thing that was so important for your business and for your marketing, what would it be?
Everything. No, I mean, experience is
the experience
is the biggest thing. I mean, the experience that you walk away with dealing with somebody. I mean, it's basic human nature. It's an interaction. How we get remembered.
I'm going to give one example before we go. In the first part of this, we talked about keep it a clean and simple storefront. Look at the layout of your store. Streamline the product. Don't give too many options. And, of course, train your staff properly. Now we're going to go through 5 through 9. But one of the best stores I ever saw that goes with those 4 and the 5 more is right down the street from here. It's well known nationally as a jewelry store. Mm-hmm. That's Albert's Diamond Jewelers. Mm-hmm. And it used to be kind of in a storefront in the more city area. They moved out to the suburb and built a big mega store. And I love the layout. And when my wife goes in there to buy something, there's not too many options, except unless you're buying a men's watch.
Yeah.
There must be. I'm like, I wanted to buy a watch one time, I'm like, forget it, man. It's overwhelming. It's like standing in the canned good aisle at Strax, and which kind of tomatoes am I supposed to buy? There's 7 different types, but they keep it real light. But one of the biggest things they do is they make everybody is in a good mood, and it's almost like a party, and they have champagne, and people get married there and all that. But one of the key things that I noticed when we would buy things there and then they advertise is that everything's done so quickly. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, you want to buy that? Here, we'll wrap it. And then by the time you're at there paying, it's already wrapped and in your bag. And the same thing will go this isn't really, my daughter bought a ring there for, I don't even know if it was engagement or whatever. All right, well, let's look. And they called some other dude at some other gem place. And they're like, all right, we'll have it here in the morning. And that just doesn't happen.
Right.
And that speed of response, I think, goes with all the other parts of the experience, but it's kind of overlooked sometimes.
It's definitely overlooked. I mean, obviously they have a very efficient system. When you walk in, you're not standing there more than 10 seconds before somebody asks if you need help. There's constantly somebody in each section. I don't know. We talked in the last episode about different zones. There's always somebody in each zone. So you're not walking up on a certain area like watches where nobody's behind the counter. They're quick, right? They get things, it's efficient. Before you're even back to the cashier, everything's wrapped up, it's ready to go. They have, if you need a drink, you need a water, you need champagne, you need a cookie, you need something, they have it there ready to go. So it's very efficient. There have been many times that you've been in a store and you're waiting. They've got one person, there's 2 people in there, 2 customers, and you wait and you wait and you wait. And somebody has gotten into a conversation with the other customer, and now you're just trying to ask a question. And you
home improvement stores.
You just walk out.
It's like two guys who are really into plumbing, mm-hmm. and then they're starting to talk about copper versus flex and all that. And then you're just standing there, and all you want is a fitting that you need to replace on your water heater or something.
Right.
And that is like, I know where to go for plumbing anymore, and I won't say it because they don't buy any advertising. But the speed at some of these big box where somebody starts talking and then forgets about you.
Right.
That's not speed of response.
No, speed of response, though, is if I make a phone call, if I call your company, how fast are you to call back, right? So, for example, I have this guy, it's a roofer, and if I need a roof, I'll start getting quotes. All I have to do is send a quick text message. He is back with me in a matter of minutes. And he'll tell me, he'll be flat out honest with me and say, I can get to you this week. I will get you a quote, this, and this. Is it an emergency? No, it's not an emergency right at this point, right? Okay, great. Other people I reach out to, and I don't hear back for another 2 weeks, right? I know a while back we talked about the fence and how we were getting quotes and things like that, and you'd hit, some people get back to you right away. Some people never get back
to you. Fence?
We're on the waiting list, right? So for install, but that's what I mean. Like, how fast are you in response, and do you have a plan for that? Because people don't like to wait. We'll move on. We're very stubborn at this point, just because of who we are as a society. Technology has made things move so fast that we want responses. We live in an instantaneous kind of environment right now, right? So everything is at a push of a button. So when you walk into a store and you're being ignored, somebody hasn't helped you, it's been 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? You're going to walk out. You're going to say enough. And I see this very often. Like, when I walk into stores, I'm sorry, but I'm evaluating how well you're doing, because this is what I do. And I've actually gone to clients as a secret shopper just to see how the experience was. And then I'll come back to them and be like, okay, this is what we've done. Or I'll hire people to go in there and do that, right? So you sell advertising. I could, in theory, send somebody to call you or to send you an email and see how fast it would take you to actually get back to us. What would be that process? Are you giving me all this? Like, all of that instantaneous, right? He's writing notes, by the way. But that's what I mean by, we have to understand how fast we are responding to people, because others will respond faster than us, and we're losing customers just simply because we're not moving quick enough. Now, I get it. Not all of us have 10 people to wait, or what seems like 50 at Albert's to wait on us right when you walk through the door. But a simple, you walk in my store, welcome to the store, insert name. Let me know if I can help you with anything. I'm here for all your questions. That's all you have to say. That doesn't mean that you're now helping that person. It just means that you've literally thrown that out there, that I'm here to help. When you have a question, just say, hey, Matt, I have a question. It's as simple as that. So I think just a hello will take you so much farther than just, I can't get with that person right now because I'm helping this person. Just take a second. Welcome to the store. If there's anything I can help you with, my name's Matt. Please just, yell out to me. I'll be happy to help you.
Personal touches, handwritten notes, texts, phone calls, showing up to somebody's thing.
Yep.
But how important are they?
It's huge. It's huge, right? We're in a relationship when we have our customers. And I've talked many times about our former customers in the home decor space and the online e-commerce space that I've had. I would literally just make phone calls and call our customers and say, I wanted to say thank you again for your purchases this year. I'd know their family members. I'd know the businesses that they own. I know the things that they are into. We would talk hobbies. We would talk all these different things. But when you have somebody from a business perspective that you can talk with, right? So I call you up and I say, I want to thank you for purchasing, whatever I sold to them. I hear football season is starting for the high school. I know Johnny plays on the team. They look to be really good this year. I hope I hope they have a winning season. We'll be rooting for him over here. Like, that means a whole lot more than just silence, right? Silence is deafening. But if I reach out to my 80-20, we talk about that 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your customers. If I reach out to that 20% and I build those relationships over time and I get to know them, right, that's huge. And I just came from a meeting before coming over here today, and it was funny because we're sitting in a room with all these people that know each other, and we're all doing this kind of work together. But there was a few other people in this room that I had never met before. And one of them said, I don't know you. I don't know how to trust you yet. I don't know anything about you. And the people that I work with are probably going to feel the same until we get to know you better. Right? And that is business to a T. Understand that. you're going to be in business for forever. If you don't do that, if you don't get to know your customers and you don't provide that those little moments, you're going to struggle to keep them around because somebody else is going to do it as well.
You're doing a sale, whether it is, I don't know. We have a guy who sits in this chair and does a podcast about home remodeling and puts in 1-day baths and paints houses and that kind of stuff. And he is famous for like saying, all right, we're busy right now. I can't be there for a month. Or I think it might take 4 or 5 days. Or it's going to cost this much. And if there are any extras, I'll hit it. But if it goes a little more smoothly, we'll knock some off or whatever. Yep. But he's famous for, all right, he says a month and then he's there in 2 weeks, yep. Right? And then he says it's going to take 4 or 5 days and he'll do it in 3. And then he's also many times said, well, I know I quoted you 9,800, but, we got going. We shaved some stuff off. It went really well, so it's only 9,000. Is that good business?
That's outstanding, actually, right? So, I mean, hopefully it's not every single time because then it just looks like...
He's just well known for over-delivering on the work itself, but also on the relationship part.
No, that's huge. Again, talking about my roofer friend, if there is a tree that has kind of overgrown and there's limbs and everything on the roof, they'll cut the tree back without any additional cost. They'll just do it, right? Or they'll add the little extras like, we think it needs this. We're going to just drop that on as well. Is that okay? Of course, it's great, right? It's not taking the money, the dollars up or anything. So people get, it doesn't matter if it was a $10,000 bill, like I think you said 9,800, right? And he takes it down to 9. In their mind, they just saved $800. They didn't think that they just spent $9,000. The human mind, the only thing we really think about is, man, I just saved $800. No, you not really. I mean, you still spent $9,000, right? But that's the way we look at it. He
still made $4,500 on the job.
Right, yeah, right. So, again, in our mind, we just saved $800. In my mind, I just saved a day, right? It's all of these things that we're saving, and there's really no difference from his perspective, other than he's not making some additional money off of it, but odds are he's moved on to the next job and the next job and the next job. But those types of things, the over deliver, is huge. And it's a conversation that I have with my own clients when I sit down with them, because the first time that we meet is not, you need this, here's a contract, here's what it's going to cost. The first discussion that we have is literally, let's go have lunch. Let's go sit down and just talk for a while. And we'll have an hour-long discussion, and it turns into more of a strategy session. And I said, okay, here's where I see you going. Are you comfortable with this? And then we can build up something from that. So it's almost like speed dating, where you're meeting together with each other and you're literally feeling each other out to say, okay, do you have the same wants and needs that I can provide answers to? And are we comfortable working together? And is this going to work? But when I don't just go in there and say, I'm going to create the world for you, right? Your marketing is going to be amazing and you're going to drive 40,000 people through the front door. I'm going to go, all right, let's look at your numbers. Let's look at your location. Let's understand your business, your revenue models, your layout of your store, all these different things. So we can really get a real understanding of what we're dealing with here. And let's be honest. So the way that my customers look at me is they think that's a consult that they just got for free. And many times it is, right? I'll give you a bunch of different ideas. And if you don't go with me, it's fine, right? At least now you're on a much better track. But I'm not here to put somebody out of business just because they didn't sign on the dotted line. I want you to succeed. And I mean, that's kind of why we do the podcast in the first place. But always, always, always over deliver because people will talk about you. I mean, you're talking about your buddy now, right? So, I mean, people will always talk about the people that over deliver. So do it any way, shape, or form.
Well, I think he's got best of the region, which is kind of a big honor here for like 4 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a very big key,
Oh, yeah.
is the really knowing how long a one-day bath is going to be. And it's really 2 days, and he's honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
But then he often does it in one day. But he could go 2 days and stuff. And I really like that. And I always talk to my guys, let's over deliver.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big client. We got one of the largest casinos in America now, does a bunch of stuff here. Let's make sure we hit it and hit it good, so that the manager just is like, wow, these guys really got it. What's a feedback loop?
Yeah, so just make sure that again, we were talking in the last episode about how your staff needs to listen to the customer and have an ability to provide feedback back to you, the owner, to understand what needs to be improved, what needs to be fixed. Whether it's your employees telling you or it's your customers telling you, provide some way for them to provide that feedback back, right? So everybody looks at reviews and all this other stuff, but I mean, if something bad is happening, you want a feedback loop where you're hearing about it before they hit a Google review and give you a 1-star, right? So how are you collecting that? Is it, as he's ripping down the shower, do you want to have a conversation? Okay, I've ripped down the shower. I've noticed there's mold here. I need to, this may add a few dollars. This is why, right? I cannot let you live with mold in your shower. I can't seal this up. There's a reason for this. It's going to cost you an extra whatever, right? But those are ways to have conversations with customers to make them understand, or for them to share the problems or even the great things that you're doing. And I don't think people listen to their customers as much, right? So, I teach classes. I teach marketing classes. I don't teach a ton of them every semester, but they give me one class a semester at this point to teach because of all the things that I'm involved in. But every single semester, we give the students a feedback loop, right? So we ask them to, did this course meet your expectations? Is the environment open to helping you learn? Was the professor helpful? And what I always tell my students is, those questions are for the university. What I want you to tell me is, there's an open area. Tell me if you liked the class and what you liked about it. Tell me what you hated about the class and what we should fix. So I've asked them for both the positives and the negatives.
Do you remember what I wrote?
Probably that I made you do your final during the Final Four.
Yes, I went to the NCAA tournament, and I had to do it while sitting at a bar between games.
I think you were in the alley or something.
I went
outside
into the alley,
rain.
and it was raining, and it was so loud, and I had a verbal final. But I did. I gave feedback of I think you go above and beyond, and you're meeting with people, and you establish relationships with the students. Not everybody does that.
Yeah.
And that is over-delivering in and of itself. And that pushes to the feedback loop, which is usually positive. Mm-hmm. I can't even remember what was negative about it. You know what? I know exactly what it was. We spent too much time on email.
Well, you got to use email. I mean, it's the number one thing to make money as a small business. So, I mean, that's why I spend time on it.
But it was feedback. I'm like, gosh. And I'm not a huge email person.
Yeah.
I loved everything else we talked about, but then everything was an A/B email test. Check this tagline against this tagline. Check this layout versus that layout. And then you would do an A/B test until you finally got to one that really kind of got it.
Well, that's because you were on the grad version of the course, so we beef it up a little bit, whereas the undergraduate didn't do A/B testing. So,
they didn't too.
Yeah.
And now here, I shouldn't even give that bad feedback loop, because now everything here is like, well, send that one out to that town and send that one out to that town, and let's see what gets better response rate.
Uh-huh.
So there's your feedback loop. Finally, let's get to the last one we're talking of these 9. Connecting with your community in store and out.
Yeah. I mean, your community is what makes you, right? So again, I was just in a meeting, and somebody was in that meeting talking about how they're looking for a space to do some things, and they're not quite sure where that's going to be. And I walked over to them and basically gave them a solution. I said, you should come see this. Happy to have you. This is what we're doing in this space. It would work perfect for you, and we'll probably have a meeting next week about it, right? So if you're not talking with your community, you're not understanding the needs that they have, you're not participating in it, you're just, I'm in it, but I'm not really part of it, then that's what's going to end up happening. You're in it, but you're not part of it, so they're not shopping with you. If you're part of it and you become kind of this local piece of the puzzle and everybody knows you, then they're going to shop with you. So, I mean, community is probably the hugest thing that I can say, because for a while when the internet launched and social and all this stuff and video and smartphones and all of this, the world got really, really big. But you see it now where the world is getting really, really small again, and everyone's going back to local community. How do we work together? Because it doesn't make sense if you're not selling across the world to promote across the world, even though the internet connects you to the world. What really matters if you're a local company, and that's what we're talking about, local marketing, is that it's a local-based, community-based that you need to be part of. And if you're not, you are going to be invisible to the rest of them.
He's Matt Hansen. What's your position with the College of Business again?
I am the director of external engagement. So basically what I tell people is, if we have not been doing it in the past, that's my job. So if we've done it in the past, I'm not usually involved with it. So we're constantly looking at things through an entrepreneurial mindset and building new programs and new solutions for small businesses and students.
Local marketing secret, the experience of your business, that is what sells your business. We'll put the 9 segments into the show notes underneath. Get your podcast Mastering Local Marketing anywhere, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anything. You can also watch it on WJOB 1230. We're going to extend that last part there, connect with community, and our next episode is going to be connect with your community through sports. Now, that can be done at the local level in many ways, and we will do that next time. Matt, thanks a lot.
See ya.
Adriana Alvarez is going to graduate from Purdue soon, but for now, she is a student. And thank you, like always. And until next time, thank you, and we will see you later.
Fall is all about cozy comforts, but when you're prioritizing your health, it's easy to feel like you're missing out. With Hero Bread, you can enjoy all your fall favorites because they're made with Hero Bread sliced bread loaves, tortillas, bagels, dinner rolls, and more. Try their all-new Hero Noodles with 12 grams of protein and just 80 calories. So skip replacing every carb with cauliflower and indulge in your breakfast, lunch, and dinner time favorites while still hitting your goals. From breakfast bagels and meal prepped enchiladas to mouth-watering burgers and cheesy noodles. You won't believe Hero Bread's options have 0 to 5 grams net carbs and are high fiber from the taste and texture. They've even got small batch drops of indulgent favorites like the popular Hero Croissant. And right now, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code FALL25 at checkout. That's fall25 at hero.co. All figures are per serving of Hero Bread. Contains 2 to 18 grams of fat per serving. See the product nutrition panels on hero.co for more information.